Hello and welcome back to the Budget Knitter podcast channel. My name is Will Spargur. I am your host. I am coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, where I live with my 2 dogs and husband. And today I'm coming to you from my bedroom, where I keep my stash. And I thought this would be a fun time to do kind of a yarn haul / stash video, because as some of you who have been seasoned subscribers know, I recently was gifted a lot of yarn. And I have kind of rearranged everything and put everything where it needs to go. And I thought it'd be a really fun time to take this opportunity to show you what I have and what I got. And it looks like we have a friend. So, today we're gonna do a little bit of it. We're not gonna do all of it because it is a lot of yarn, and I thought this would be a nice little fun thing to do in parts. So we are gonna kind of maybe go over, we might do this by weight, because I do seem to have a lot of every weight. So we will, we will probably start with like fingering weight, and I think that's what we're gonna do today. Okay, sweetie, I can't hold you all the time. Okay, go on. So, without further ado, let's get to it. And the funny thing is, this all has to come off this shelf, and then it's gonna go back on the shelf. I don't know if you can tell from there, but I have this big black shelf which has most of the yarn on it, and then I have some crates over here which has a little bit more, and then there's a shelf over here which is what I was originally keeping all of my yarn on to begin with. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it. So this has 3 shelves, and these all go all the way to the floor. I know you can't see that, but they do go all the way to the floor. So I think we'll start with fingering weight, because that's the largest of what I have, and we'll kind of go from there and see how this goes. And what sucks is this is all gonna come off the shelf, and then after we're done, I have to put it back on the shelf, and we're gonna see how that goes. It probably needs to be reorganized anyway, so this is a good chance for me to do that. So the annoying thing is that I have so much fingering weight yarn that it's not all in one place. I tried to do this by shelf. I originally wanted to keep like my bulky weights here because I thought I didn't have a lot of bulky weight, and that was wrong. And then I was gonna do like fingering and sport, DK, and then worsted on the bottom too, because I have a lot of worsted. I actually have more DK than I thought I would. So that didn't work out. And so I thought this might maybe be enough for my fingering weight. Turns out it's not. So I have fingering weight here, I have some here, and then I have more fingering weight over here. And I can tell you that it has been a task trying to figure out where to put all of this. So without further ado, let's kind of get started on some of the stuff that's easier for me to get to. And for some of this, I'm probably gonna take it down and then put it back, because some of it's okay, some of it's fine where it is. So let's start with this. This is called Glimmer, and this is 95% baby alpaca and 5% polyester. It is 183.5 yards for 50 grams, and this is absolutely gorgeous. The polyester is, polyester. I think that's actually the shiny parts. I don't know if you can see that it's got some glittery parts in there, but it does. And I love this. I think I got 8 of these, so in total 400 grams of this, and this is fingering weight. And then, I got that from a lady who was visiting Sin City Knit Shop from Hawaii. So she brought, if you've followed me for a little bit, I think in the last podcast I told you I got a bunch of yarn from the ladies at Sin City Knit Shop and Scott. Well, I went this past week and they actually had a little bit more to give me, so I've continued to add to this stash. So that came from a lady in Hawaii, and she actually gave me quite a bit of other things, and I think this is one of those. This is the Deborah Norville collection, and this is fingering weight, of course, and so it's Premier yarns. A lot of people use this for socks. This is 230 yards for 50 grams. This is the Serenity sock weight yarn. I love those colors. I'm actually kind of excited to see how that's going to knit up. And then right under that, I have Regia. This is Crazy Color. I guess this is from Germany. Anyway, it's 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and I love those colors. I think this is fun. I got a lot of sock yarn, so I'm probably going to be knitting a lot of socks in the future. Anyway, so I got that. And then behind that, actually, this one doesn't have a label. This is Cascade Yarn's Longwood Sport Stripe. This is 100% Superwash Extra Fine Merino, 100 grams, 273 yards. This is probably, well, it's sport weight, so we're kind of in that same category. If I would knit socks with it, it counts. So I got 3 of these. Some of these came like this, where I think they were either started to be used or maybe they used a little bit of it. So some of these may be less than 100 grams, but that's fine. I actually got 3 of these, and so I could make a pair of socks out of 1 ball. So this is 3 pairs of socks if that's what I decide to use it for. And then there's some other stuff up there, but it's not fingering weight, so we're gonna skip it today. Okay, so on to the main shelf. Let's start over here. This is Painted Desert, and this is 437 yards, 100% superwash wool. I can't read the color because it's under a label. No, I can't read that. This says Cameo, C-A-M-I-O, so maybe that's the colorway, but honestly, I can't see it. So I have that, but it's kind of this cool, like, blended look thing, and I'm kind of excited to see how it goes because it looks like it might be a gradient yarn. It goes just different colors as it continues, so this might be fun to work with. How much did I say? 437 yards. This could probably be like a one skein wonder because I only have one, so that might be fun to work with. This is Folio by Berroco. This is 65% superfine alpaca and 35% rayon, and 219 yards, and I believe this is 50 grams. These balls are all different and a little bit harder to read. Yes, 50 grams, so this is 50 grams. This is really soft, I like this, and it's kind of unfortunate that there was only one of these, but I'm sure I'll find something to use that in. So this might get a little messy. Some of this I've shown before, so I'm gonna skip some of this, or I'll show it to you real quick actually. I don't really know how to pronounce some of these, but I got these on sale from Sin City Knit Shop for $2.50 a piece. These are 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and it is, I don't know where the yardage is. I think it's covered up actually. This is color 72, if that means anything to anyone. Yeah, I can't find the yardage on this. 210 meters, so whatever that translates to in yards. I don't know if I'm cutting off the top of my head, by the way. So if I am, oops, I think the important part is the yarn though, right? So I have 2 in this colorway, which is colorway 72, and then I have 2 in this colorway, which is colorway 74. Yeah, no, it doesn't actually say yardage. That's interesting. But these are both 50 grams, so one of these makes a sock, which is why I bought 2 of each. Okay. These came from the lady in Hawaii. This is Wildfoot Luxury Sock Yarn, 75% washable wool, 25% nylon. It's 50 grams, 215 yards. Color is Sonatina. This is spun and dyed by Brown Sheep Company. So I like that, it's kind of a cute pink. Again, I only have one of these, so it won't make a pair of socks, for me anyway. Might make like kid socks, but I'll find something to use this for. And this is, looks like it just says Lang. I hate that these old yarn companies like put a label over the label. Maybe I should have looked at that. Yeah, I'm just tearing off the label now. Okay, anyway, so this is Lang Yarns. It is a superwash wool, 75% wool, 18% polyamide. Actually has 7% acrylic in it, which I find interesting. It's 50 grams and 210 meters. So a lot of these yarns that you get that are from like Europe, they don't have the US yards on them because everybody except America is in metric. So 210 yards, which is actually something I'm starting to look at when I look at patterns. I'm trying to look at kind of the metric measurements because I find that I'm able to work with more patterns from other countries when I'm able to work in metric. So I've been trying to do that. So 210 meters for that one. I kind of like that. It's like a camouflage almost with speckles in it. Okay, so let's get into the hanks. There's a lot, and annoyingly, a lot of these aren't labeled. First, this is my hand-dyed. I didn't name this, but this is for my stepmother Jane. I'm gonna make some hand warmers out of this for her. And these are called, what are these? Oh, the gloves are called Pioneer gloves, but this yarn is 80% wool, 20% Angora. So that's fun. I have that. And I actually need to remember to keep that up. Okay, so this one is Ella Ray Lace Merino Extra Fine Superwash Merino Wool, 100 grams, 420 meters, 459 yards, dye lot 33, color Bonfire. So I think that's really pretty. A lot of these actually came to me caked up already, and I've been told that you shouldn't cake up natural fibers until you're ready to use them because it can stretch out the wool. So I actually took a lot of these and re-hanked them. They also stack better on the shelf. So that's really pretty. Then I have, oh, I've shown this before. This is my Lolo Did It Something Blue. And I really love this. I love Lolo Did It's yarn. And she's local here. She has her studio here in Las Vegas. 100 grams, 430 yards, and 80% merino wool, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. Then, Heritage Paints Cascade yarns. This is hand painted. This is, man, these things are hard to read. 75% wool, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 437 yards. I really like that. That's really pretty. I'm trying to find the colorway. Just says color 9770. So there you go. And I have two of these. These are also Heritage yarns from Cascade, or Heritage Wave. Heritage Wave. That's Heritage Paints. This is Heritage Wave. And this is, I think, the same thing. 100 grams, 437 yards. Where's the, oh, 75 wool, 25% nylon. I got two of these. I think they're really pretty. Okay. Some of this is going to start falling. I have no idea what this is, but it's really pretty. I also have no idea what this is, but I like the solid color. This, Ella Ray Lace Merino Superwash Extra Fine Merino Wool. This, I don't know what happened when I hanked it up. 460 yards, 100% wool, colorway. Oh, they covered it up with a sticker. So I don't know what the color is. But that's really pretty as well. I like that. Then, I believe this is a cotton blend, but I don't know what it is, and I don't know the brand or anything, but it's a nice solid color. Okay. This is Happy Feet 100 Splash hand-dyed wool. It's 90% merino. So sorry, I was interrupted by a phone call. My grandmother was calling. So back to where we were. I don't remember exactly where this cut off. Anyway. Happy Feet 100 Splash, 90% merino wool, 10% nylon. The Plymouth Yarn Company. This is 100 grams, approximately 384 yards. I kind of like this. It's like a gray with brown, blue, and black speckles. So I really like that. I think that's pretty. It's really soft too. Gotta be really careful because some of this is gonna fall. I don't think this is fingering weight actually. Oh, it is. Weird. Okay. This is Queensland Collection Rustic Merino Sport. And it is 100 grams, 328 yards, 100% wool. And I kind of like this. It's just like a nice tonal green. So that's really pretty. I don't know what this is. I think this might be Tink, which is one of my local dyers, but I don't know. But it's super soft, super pretty. I love the way the brown and yellow work together. So I have that. That's one of the ones I rehanged and it wants to come apart again. You know what? I think I know what this is. Where is... Yep, this is another one of the LRA. I didn't have a label for it. But, okay, now I know that these are the same thing. Fun. Okay. Okay, so this is Tink yarn. This is called Fremontini. So we have a street here called Fremont Street, and it's kind of like a night-lifey type of place, and it's got a few casinos on it, like Golden Nugget and the D, and it's kind of a fun place. But so I think that's what this is based on. So Fremont and a martini, so Fremontini. It's fun. This is the Sparkle Sock base from Tink. It's 75% merino wool, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. 438 yards for 100 grams. So that's really pretty. I like that. This, don't know what it is. Really pretty. It's not as soft. It's a little rougher. So I'm not really sure what the material is, but it is squishy. So I like that. It's got like blacks and teals and stuff. This is Shopple. It's a gradient yarn. I don't really... The label isn't something that I can read very well. It is 100% virgin wool, but 260 meters for 100 grams. It's not really, it's kind of like roving. It doesn't really have a spin to it. It's like just roving. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's really interesting and I like it. And to be honest, this is more of a sport weight, but the label, I think, puts it in the fingering weight category. So it's on this shelf. Here are two more that I do not know the name of, the brand of, the dye, the color, anything like that. But I really have a thing for purples and blues, so I'm really happy that I have these. A lot of these are probably going to either end up in projects together where I do some kind of gradient or something, or they're going to become socks. I'm probably going to be knitting socks for the rest of my life. And this one, again, don't know the dyer, don't know any of the information. I know it's 100 grams, but this is really soft. It's really elastic. Like it's got an interesting stretch to it. And it was actually really hard to hank back up because I couldn't keep the tension correct. And so some of it is like still really loose. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It might be socks, but it's almost too elastic for that. So it'll tell me what it wants to be one day. Okay. Oh no. And there it went all tumbling down. Okay, so these four are actually still my hand dyed. These two you've seen before. This is Panning for Gold, and this is Bubblegum, or Blowing Bubbles, that's what this is. So I have those. And then these are two of my newer ones. These were a new technique I was trying out. I dyed the solid gray first, and then I tried to speckle it. And I didn't leave the speckles on very long. I kind of let it sit for about 2 minutes, and then I rinsed it out. And I got this really cool pale, like, added color effect. And I really like the way that that turned out. But I did it on 2 different bases, and it took it up differently. Also, do you like my handmade yarn balls? In the spirit of being, or yarn bands, in the spirit of being on a budget, they are paper, tape, and Sharpie. So that's fun. Okay. This is a lot. This is just a lot of yarn. Okay, so these 3 go together, and I got these from somebody who watches the podcast, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but she's my cool friend from Norway, and I don't want to be insensitive and end up mispronouncing her name, but she sent me this really cool yarn. I think it's Kauni or something, Kauni, and she sent me 3 balls. And they're all slightly different. Well, the middle one's clearly different, but the 2 reds on the end are actually very different. And then these are 150 grams, so they're 600 meters each of fingering weight. I'm probably gonna make a shawl out of this because I love it. It's 100% wool, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, so I'm gonna try and grab as many of these as I can because they're all essentially the same thing. Oh shoot, I'm dropping everything. Oop, that's coming apart. There's one that's different. Do I have any more of this hiding back here? I do. One. Okay. So these also came from the lady in Hawaii, and these are actually a discontinued yarn, but they're really, really soft and they're really cool. I like them, and so I'm gonna show you, I think all of them are the same except for one, just in different colors. So it's called Panda Soy from Crystal Palace Yarns. My understanding after looking on Ravelry is that it is a discontinued yarn. It no longer is manufactured. So this has clearly been held on to for a little while, but this is really cool. So the Panda Soy is fingering weight. It's 49% bamboo, 33% soy, and 18% elastic nylon. And so I've got this green color with like purples, reds, and yellows. Then I've got this kind of red. They're all kind of a solid color with other colors mixed in. So this is red, green, orange, and blue. Then I've got purple that's got blues, yellows, and pinks in there. Then this one, which is kind of like a purple blue with blues and greens mixed in. So those are all Panda Soy. And then there's one of Panda Silk. And this Panda Silk is 52% bamboo, 43% Superwash Merino wool, and 5% combed silk. What sucks is I only have one of these, so I can't make a pair of socks out of these, even though I know they'd be super luxurious. So I only have one, but I am, in exchange for the woman who sent me this yarn, I'm actually going to send some of this to her because it is discontinued, and I think it'd be really cool to share the love on that. And since she did me a solid by sending me that yarn, she is getting 3 of my hand-dyed skeins in exchange, but I am going to go ahead and just because she's been so nice and we've been getting to know each other and just talk more and sharing. I've been learning so much about Norway through her, so I'm gonna be a little bit more generous because, you know, these are huge. This is a lot of yarn, and my hand-dyed hanks that I'm gonna send to her don't have nearly as much yarn, so I thought that it would be nice to go ahead and send her, like, a lot of these have 3, so I thought she might like maybe the extra one of these 3, and I thought that would be cute. So I'm gonna do that for her. Okay, what else is up here? Here's a ball of what I think is cotton. It's like a lime green. Again, no ball band. Oh, wait. There might be one in here. There is. There's a ball band hiding. I don't think I can get to that without undoing the entire ball. Yeah, I'm gonna have to undo the entire ball of yarn to get to it. Oh, wait, maybe not. I'm still gonna have to undo the entire ball at some point, but... Oh, come on. I never understood why you would shove your ball band down in the center. Oh, okay, here we go. This is Berroco Modern Cotton DK. Okay. Come back. Okay. 335 yards, 100 grams, 60% Pima cotton, 40% modal rayon, or modal viscose. Okay, so that's what that is. This is probably going to get either hanked or caked soon, now that I know what it is. Okay, so there's a few other things going around here. There looks like, so most of this came from the lady in Hawaii. So this is Regia Crazy Color. I think this one goes with, oh no, I've covered everything up. What did I do with that? Oh, that's this one, I think. Just balled up differently. Oh, I do have 2 of these. Okay, I can make socks out of those. Cool. So there's a few brands in here, and I haven't matched them all back up yet. So this is Souls and More from Sensations yarn, and this is 262 yards, 75% wool, 25% nylon. I only have one of these, so I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. Then this is Heart and Soul from Red Heart, and it is 70% wool, 30% nylon. Yardage. It's called Watercolor Stripe, I think. And yardage, 213 yards. I think those are the same. So I think I have two of those. Okay, this is Regia Silk. So it's 50 grams, 50% merino wool, 25% polyamide, 20% silk. 50 grams, I don't have another one of these. So these single ones I will probably combine into like some kind of crazy shawl or something. Or I might make, like I think I'm gonna do a granny stripe blanket at some point, and this might go into that. I know it's fingering weight, but I kind of have this idea of making a blanket that's like got like chunkier parts and thinner parts and still uses the same hook, so I'd be like doing fingering weight but on a really big hook. I don't know, just a cool idea running through my head. Okay, this is Red Heart, Heart and Soul, again, and this is Green Envy, two of those. More Red Heart, Heart and Soul. Oh, this is more Watercolor Stripe. I have 4 of these. So some of these that have like 4 or more, I might turn into something larger instead of socks. I love the socks, but you know, I feel like socks are great for if you only have 100 grams because you can use all of the sock yarn and then you're done. But when you have, you know, like 1 or you have a bunch, those need to go into something different. So like the Heritage Wave yarn, I have 2 of these. And while they would be cute as socks, I think they should go into something bigger because I do have 200 grams of it. Okay, so I have Berroco Comfort Sock, 50% nylon, 50% fine acrylic, 447 yards, 100 grams. So it's kind of like a neutral color, and I like this. This actually feels really soft, and I'm kind of excited to make socks out of this. This is Jigsaw 4-ply by Heirloom, and it is 75% wool, 25% nylon, and 420 meters. This is Italy, so 100 grams, made in Italy, 100 grams. I like this. I think that's gonna make a cool pair of socks. Okay, this is Osterman Step. I don't know what that means. And it's a German yarn. Let's see if I can find 75% wool, 25% nylon, 100 grams. That's a really cool, interesting style. It's this is definitely self-striping. They kind of have an example of what it turns out to be, but it's not in the same colorway. And then this is Trekking Double XL, made in Germany, 100 grams, 420 meters, 75% wool, 20% nylon, or excuse me, 25% nylon. So that's like a really nice fall color, and y'all know I love my fall colors. Oh my god, I just said y'all. I am returning to my Kentucky roots. I'm getting ready to go back to Kentucky, so maybe that just has to do with me trying to get my language back. Hi, sweetie. Are you waiting? Are you hungry? It's not time to eat yet, is it? I don't even know what time it is. And of course, my phone is right there. So, anyway, so there's that. Then I have 2 things here, and I don't need to take these all down. These are both Knit Picks palette, and this is Toffee. Sorry, my dryer went off. This is Toffee, this is Ruibos Heather. They're kind of both like a nice brown color. These are both fingering weight 100% Peruvian Highland wool, 231 yards for 50 grams. And I have 4 balls of each of these, so I have 200 grams of each of these. I never really thought about what I would use these for when I bought these. These were just on clearance on Knit Picks when I bought them. So I just kind of grabbed whatever I could get a hold of without a project in mind. It'll tell me one day, but so I have that. We're not done. I still have a little more. I have this. No idea what it is. It's a really high twist though, and I like it. Somehow it's connected. This is probably gonna have to get either hanked or caked. Not really sure yet. Then I have this Shetland 4-ply. Looks like it's from Scotland. 230 yards, 100% wool. It's only 50 grams, so I don't. This is literally like, this is scratchy wool. This is the scratchy wool people talk about. So we'll see. This is, it looks like from Carlaway Mills, Isle of Lewis in Scotland. So that's interesting that I have some yarn from Scotland. Okay. Here's another cotton thing. I don't know what it is. It looks like actually this is kind of just leftover. There's no ball band in there. Then I have 3 of this, which is DY Choice 4-ply with wool. So it's 75% polyacryl, so it sounds like it's an acrylic, and 25% wool. I have 3 of these. It's actually nice and soft. This again, because these are 100 grams, that's a lot of yarn. So, oops, this will probably become a bigger project. Okay, this is a lot of the same. Adore Colors by Universal Yarns, 100 grams, 273 yards, 55% merino wool, 45% acrylic. And I have it in 2 different colors, This one is color 201, peony print. And then this one is color 202, capri print. So 2 very different colors there, but I like them. Then I have some Carlton sock weight yarn, 100 grams, 75% wool, 25% polyamide. This color is color 14. I like that. It's so cute. It's got so many different colors. Then we have Saki Bamboo from Wisdom Yarns. 50% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 25% bamboo, 100 grams, 462 yards. It is machine washable, which is interesting. And this one is called Cedar Lake. And then I believe this is more Carlton, but I honestly have no idea. There's no ball band. But I like that. I like those colors. Maybe? This is more cotton. I think this is a sport weight. No ball band. I don't know. I think that's all my fingering weights, to be honest. Okay, well there's 2 down here. These are lace weight yarns that were caked up. There's a ball band in this one. This is Misty Alpaca. It's 100% baby alpaca. It's hand-painted lace yarn. The color is Red Rover. So Misty Alpaca. It's 874 yards for 100 grams, and so I have 2 different colors. So that would be a really cool shawl or something when I get around to using that. But I don't have any other like specifically lace weight yarns, so this is interesting to have because I've never worked with it before. There are a couple others down here, but they're kind of hard to get to. So this is Sin City yarn. This is called Showgirl Glitz. So it's got some sparkle in it. It's just like a black and gray base. So this is the owner of Sin City Knit Shop also dyes yarn. So this is her, some of hers. No ball band, no idea what this is. This is interesting. It's kind of like a Halloween color. I would be interested to see if this would like make good socks or if I should knit something else out of it. But I have that. And then I think this is like maybe a sport weight. Again, no ball band, just a nice purple color with some blues running through it. last of it. Really, it's kind of coming apart. This is just a nice orange color. Again, no ball band. I think this is probably Tink yarn. It looks like her dye job, but I'm not really quite sure. But again, I do have that. This is like a really, really fine. I think this is even less than sock weight. This is probably somewhere in, but this is like super fine. But, so I have that. I honestly don't think I have any other fingering weight. I emptied that entire shelf and now I get to put it all back. Okay, so that was overwhelming. I didn't realize how much effort it was gonna take to go back and forth and try to get to show you all of that yarn. And that's just my fingering and sport weight yarns. That is not touching the rest of this collection that goes all the way to the floor, plus in those crates, plus the rest of whatever's on that shelf. So again, this is gonna come in parts because it's a lot of yarn. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I've enjoyed showing you this stash, even if it is just slightly overwhelming, but that's not a big deal. I really am appreciative to everyone who has given me yarn, gifted me yarn. Again, so this one, the Lolo Did It, was actually bought by my friend Christian because I hand dyed and knit her a hat for Christmas, and so this was my Christmas present from her. So, you know, this is really nice. I'm very thankful for everybody taking the time and effort to think about things that they could gift me, because I will probably try very hard not to buy any more yarn for like, well, I'm starting to kind of make plans in my head of what can I use this for and how can I work through this stash quickly, because as much as I love the yarn and I want to work with it, at the same time it is a little bit overwhelming. I mean, I love waking up to it, I love seeing it, it does bring me joy, but at the same time, unknit yarn or unused yarn is just taking up space, and it means that I'm not doing something productive. That's not necessarily true, but there are a lot of things that I could be doing now that I have the opportunity and the yarns to pick from. So now that I'm doing that, I'm just thinking about all of the things that I could make, all of the new things that I could learn, all of the gifts that I could give, or all of the things that I could donate. I know that I actually, one of the women I work with works with the homeless, and I thought, well, I have all of this sock yarn, wouldn't it be nice if because in the winter it does get cold here, so wouldn't it be nice if I could knit some wool socks for the homeless people here in Las Vegas? You know, just kind of my way of, one, doing something productive, but also giving back to the community. And so I think I might try that, and also making blankets. I know that the homeless people here could definitely use blankets during the winter. Actually, during the summer too. I know that they tend to do whatever they can to create shade and make it a little bit cooler, so making blankets would be great too. So, you know, I'm thinking about all those things that I can do, and I'm really excited about what the future has to hold for my knitting and my crafting. And I hope that you're going to follow me along on this journey, because I'm excited to share it with you. So just a couple of quick updates before I go. I do have my latest podcast episode up, episode 16. We did have some awesome winners for the giveaway. I have heard from 3 of you. There's one person I have not heard from, and that is Sharon Marks. So Sharon Marks, if you would like to receive your hand-dyed yarn and stitch marker for winning the giveaway, I need you to get my email address from the video description box, either on that video or on this video, and email me your mailing address so that I can get that out to you. I don't want to keep this on hold for too long. I will at some point probably, if I don't hear from you, I will probably have to give the gift to some other person, and I don't want to do that because you did win fair and square, and it's only fair that you receive your gift. But if I don't hear from you, I can't hold on to it forever, okay? So don't delay on that, okay? With that, coming in the future, I do plan to do some like budget knitter or some budget yarn hauls, seeing how I can take $25 and go to a different craft store and see how much yarn I can get for $25. I will exclude tax from that. It's going to be how much yarn I can get for $25 before tax, because tax differs by state. So I will say $25 before tax, because for me it's 8.1%. I know in Kentucky it's like 6%, some states it's more, some states it's less. So it'll be $25 before tax. And then after I show you what I get for $25, I will then give that haul away, because clearly I don't need it. And, but that would be a really fun thing to do, you know, show you guys what you can get with your money, and then one lucky person can get a nice yarn haul. So I do want to try and do that in the future. And then I'm working on a project right now on a set of needles that I picked up from Michael's, and I am using them to see how that goes. As soon as I finish the project, I am going to show you the project, and I'm going to give you a review on the needles. And so far I think they're great, but I want to work with them just a little bit more to see how it goes. So be looking for that review in the future. I've also got another yarn review coming up on another big box brand yarn from Michael's. So be sure to stay tuned for that as well. I do want to let you know that April is going to be a really busy month for me. I'm going to be out of town. I've got family coming into town, and I know that that's going to take up like 3 of the weekends of April. So I may not be able to do a podcast during the month of April. What I'm going to try to do is see if I can film some content and have that prepared to upload during the month, so that you can still get your cool budget knitter updates, but I just may not be able to actively film any videos. Oh, my dog is eating something. Hey! No. Stop it. Anyway, so that's kind of up in the air right now. Not really sure how April is going to work at this time. I know that I'm going to go, I'm flying into Louisville, Kentucky, but I know that Lexington has several yarn stores, and I've got a couple friends that live there, as well as my stepsister. So I'm actually going to try to go down there and maybe do like a yarn store crawl, and just kind of see the different shops, what they have, see if they have any local dyers or things of interest, and I might do a little bit of filming there just to kind of show you what I'm doing while I'm gone. I think that's my biggest updates. Okay, so thank you to everyone for joining me. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe, and so you can get all of my fun updates. And go ahead and click, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, because your thumbs up actually do help me, because your thumbs up means that it's going to show up in more people's related thread thing there on the side, and that's a good thing for me, because that means that more people are discovering this channel and joining this family, and that's what we want. We want people to join this family. So go ahead and do that. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope that this has been kind of fun, if not a little bit overwhelming for you as well. Now, just to clue a little bit, there might be some giveaways with some of this. So like if it's something that I might not use, or something that, you know, maybe I only have one of these sock yarns or something, and I think that somebody else could use it, I might give, you know, a little bit of this away. That remains to be seen, because I also do want to be respectful of the fact that this was gifted to me for me to use. But again, it is mine. It is mine to do with what I will. So, but don't worry, there are going to be some awesome yarn giveaways coming up. I don't want to just do, you know, the typical acrylics that everybody can buy at your big name stores. I do want to be able to give you some yarns that are either locally dyed, or some yarns that may be a little bit out of people's budget range. I want to be able to do that for people and give them the opportunity to win. So be sure to stay tuned to this channel. I think that's all the updates I have for you, so I am going to put this back on this shelf, and what might be fun, I will probably just leave the camera rolling and then I'll speed it up so you can see this fun process. Anyway, so thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day. I will see you again very soon here on the Budget Knitter channel with a podcast coming up in about a week. So I will see you soon, and I love you, and thank you, and I hope you have a great day. By the way, if you didn't know, I found a scorpion in my house the other day, so I might be burning the place to the ground. Just kidding. Anyway, but yes, no. So I'll be putting this up, and you can watch that, or you can just go ahead and click away. It doesn't matter to me. And I will see you all very soon again here on the Budget Knitter Podcast channel. Thanks, and have a wonderful day.